Hey, what's going on, guys? Bflattened here with a brand new build video today. We're going to be going over Brrzerker 2.0. This is a updated build for Brrzerker 1.0. There's not too many changes. There's a little bit of skill tree differences and a few gear changes that have moved around. Let's go ahead and get right into the build, shall we? First, a showcase for what this build can actually do. Pick up my old pal Parasite here. And we get ourselves a one-shot. That wasn't the cleanest. It definitely has a lot cleaner one-shots than that. But that fact, one-shot still exists. So, it is going to be based off of the Livewire, which as of May 26 hotfix on Thursday, notes said that the Livewire is going to be changing. So enjoy the Livewire while you have it now, that the melee chains will be working with each other. I don't know what they're going to be changing exactly, but the patch is going to be completely flopping this over. So enjoy the live wire while you have it. You want to drain this down to 1 ammo in the magazine. You want to have as much mag in there as possible so that the chains can do even damage. And this one comes with spellcast lightning damage for even more damage off that. I'm rocking a liquid cooling, thunder anima, and ruby spite. These are just for fillers. You don't really need them. If you want to have another SMG on top of here, white riders are not too bad either. However, just holding the live wire and meleeing enemies are the key to the build. Now, this is where the Salt and Battery comes in. If you saw my gear guide on the Salt and Battery, you'll know exactly what this thing does, but it hits super duper hard. I'm convinced this is probably the best melee weapon in the game right now, even though I don't like using the word best. There's not really many replacements for it. It comes in cryo. It has the Salt and Battery ability, where you get the Dagger Storm, melee critical chance by 20% until you get a melee critical hit, which resets that. And of course, echoes on top of that as well. Melee attacks deal 10% of all non-melee damage over the last 10 seconds as bonus damage, and it resets it. So anything that's not melee damage will come with that little shockwave, kind of like Groundbreaker in Borderlands 3, for a super duper hard hit. Some of our gear that we're using the same gear from last time. We have the melee damage ring, and we have this melee damage ring as well, the mood ring. While ward is not full, you get the 33% increase. And this one is when your health is less than 50%, your effects are increased by 50%. This will also be working in Fight for Your Life. We're using the Curse Wit. Whenever our shield is down, we do tons and tons of damage based on our distance to the enemy. Since we're going to be meleeing enemies and bonking them anyways, we're up close and personal. We get maximum effects from that. We're using the Amalgam with Brrzeker Clawbringer. This is going to be giving us a bunch of melee damage, all damage, and it gives us +4 into one of our skills. Great. We'll be going to that skill right away. We're using the Frost Damage Brrzerker double damage, all damage dealt Dirge, and we're using the Tidebreaker. The Tidebreaker's role in this build is just casting and hitting the targets to soak them. Soak targets take additional damage from lightning and frost damage. And we're going to be doing lightning and frost damage with our melee, and also the chains from the live wire. This one has a 3 spell charge, so we can activate all of our enchants whenever the heck we want. Spellcast melee, spellcast lightning, spellcast elemental damage. Additionally, you can do action skill start melee damage as well if you want to throw that on one of enchants additionally. Inside of our skills, on the Brrzerker side, we're using Ancestral Frost for frost damage. Savagery for the melee damage. This comes from our class mod. We're using Icebreaker, super duper, super powerful skill. That double dips, increased damage dealt to enemies that are slowed by frost. The old ways, bonus damage and increased damage reduction the closer you are. We have 11 out of 5 from this. This is going to be working with our Curse Wit. Unarmored defense, some of our ward is reserved and cannot be restored, but our maximum health is increased. This will allow our Curse Wit to break even more often. Cold Snap, our movement speed and frost efficiency are increased. And we also have 2 out of 1 blast shell. This is going to be for one of our skills that we have from our class mod, and also 1 point invested into it. I totally forgot I was in a Chaos Chamber, and I got some Butt Stallion boosts. The ones that are getting boosted from here is Blast Chill, and the other one at the top is Savagery. So the old ways was boosted by Butt Stallion. On our other side is Arsenal melee damage, haste melee damage, or melee attack speed and movement speed, sorry. Potent poisons got increased from the last build to have maximum status effect damage and duration on here. Exploit their weakness. Whenever you apply a status effect, you get increased damage from all sources. Shadow Step, next melee attack is a guaranteed crit. Contagion is maxed out. This has changed from last build. Whenever you apply a status effect, there's a chance it spreads to nearby enemies. I kind of talked about this in Raging Contagion build, if you haven't seen that yet. But basically what happens is, you have two enemies, right? A and B, 1 and 2. It'll swap status effects between both of them. If you have over 100% status effect damage, you have no penalties to that. It's not supposed to work that way, but that's how it currently works. It's completely overpowered, and it is absolutely amazing on this build. And finally, we have Alchemical Agent. Melee critical hits apply a random status effect, which works with Agent, your status effect damages, that sort of thing. Last time I didn't go into my hero points, but the points that are most important are Strength, Wisdom for status effect damage, and Attunement for your skill damage, or your skill cooldown, sorry. Because you want to go into From the Shadows as much as possible, because you get guaranteed melee criticals. Now, that is the skills, that is the gear. You saw what it does to Parasite. I do have a raid boss on here. Let me show you what it does to one of the raid bosses. So some of your weaknesses are going to be flying enemies, because you've got to go up close and personal to melee targets. Green raid boss can be a little difficult, because the hitboxes in melee range is kind of weird and out of whack. Drill is actually pretty easy on this build specifically, but usually in otherwise not the easiest target. So what you want to do is you want to Tidebreaker your enemy to soak them. You'll know that they're soaked by having that little, like, water effect all around them. You melee him a couple of times, and he's dead. Now, I could have one-shot him there if I didn't melee him the other 2 times, but the other 2 melee hits were for Echo, and also to try to get more Contagion rolled through to make it a faster kill. It pretty much one-shots most bosses. If it's a raid boss, it'll probably be 2 to 4 hits, anywhere in between there. There's a little bit of RNG that is applied to how Contagion procs. Other than that, that's the build. Discord will have the save file. Feel free to download it, play around with it, have some fun. And other than that, my name is Bflattened. I'm signing on out of here. Take care, all. Laters.